Good afternoon and welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, hi, my name is Amanda and I am a 32-year-old lady just trying to get my shit together. So I missed my upload for the last 2 Thursdays, and that is because if you are living on this planet, we are going through a clusterfuck of a situation. And on top of that global problem, personally, I am moving. So it has just kind of been a crazy 2 weeks. I have 2 videos that I filmed and have been editing, but with everything going on, I just have not managed to completely edit either one of them. So instead of waiting another whole week, not that the whole 15 of you that are subscribed to me really probably care or noticed that I didn't upload, it just felt like a personal failure that I missed 2 uploads. So I'm like, you know what, let me just film something quick, get something out, even though it's a couple days late, and then I can just kind of, reset. Because not just with taking so long to edit, but they just seemed very tone deaf at this point to put out the 2 videos that I have pre-filmed, because they just are so disjointed from what's happening right now that it just, I don't know, it just felt weird. I have a makeup video coming, me doing my makeup, watching a tutorial, and I also have a skincare video coming, and I am currently in the process of trying to film a little bit of a moving vlog / new apartment tour kind of thing, just a short video of just what's been going on in my life in the last 2 weeks. I don't have much footage right now because it's just been a whirlwind, but I'm gonna try to make something out of it. So instead I'm gonna do this little mini update check-in video, just kind of talking about what life is like. And I'm sure you all know, but maybe some of you are from other countries or from other parts of the United States and your experience is different. And from a lot of things I've been seeing on TV or on social media in general, is everybody's kind of having a different experience with this. I've had a hard time finding too many people talking about, an experience that is similar to mine. And so I figured maybe I could talk about it. And if there's anybody out there that's having a similar experience, that they will feel less alone. So for me, I have a job. If you've watched one of my other videos, you will know that my job requires me to drive around delivering tools all over my state, which happens to be Connecticut. Currently, where I live, we have a statewide shutdown of any non-essential businesses. So manufacturing doesn't fall under that. The companies are not going to shut down because they are contracted to stay open. They make things for medical supplies, military, just different things. So they can't close, which means, thank goodness, my job is, for the moment, secure. There is one place that did decide to close down on their own, but that was something they chose to do. They weren't mandated to, they just took it upon themselves to close for 2 weeks. As of right now, my job is not in danger, which is really good. I could not afford to lose my job because as an independent contractor, I would not be entitled to unemployment. If I lost my job, I would have no income, no way to get income through state assistance or anything like that. I would be on my own. So thank goodness I have that security. However, that means that I have to go out into the world. I drive over 100 miles a day and I stop at about 9 or 10 different places. So I'm coming in contact with quite a few people, which is a little bit scary because for the same reason I'm afraid of losing my job, I'm afraid of getting sick. Because if I get sick, then not only do I have to quarantine, but my boyfriend, because he lives with me, would also have to quarantine, which means we would both be out of work at that point. He could collect unemployment, but it would not sustain our bills. So as much as I keep seeing people talking about, stay home, you have to stay home, it's the right thing to do, which I completely agree. If you do not have to go out, please do not go out. But for people like me who don't have a choice, it sucks because I know that I am putting other people at risk through my job, especially going back and forth to different places and possibly, picking up who knows what along the way and transporting it all around. It feels very irresponsible. But at the same time, the job has to be done. It's part of the supply chain for manufacturing. We can't just stop because the economy is already having a hard time. We don't need to shut down lines of production, especially for really important things like potentially medical equipment. It's kind of a shitty feeling to know that in doing the best I can, not only for the industry I work in, but for myself financially, to not lose everything I have, I might potentially be putting other people at risk. And it just feels really shitty, to be honest. If you have to go out, whether it be because your job needs to go on, if you're, working in the food service or in grocery stores or in hospitals or in pharmacies, you have to be there for people. Or because you can't stop working because doing so means you would lose everything. I feel you. I feel that internal dilemma of doing what's necessary versus doing what you know is morally right for the safety of everyone, including yourself. Thank goodness I only have to work 3 days a week. So on the days that I have off, I don't leave the house unless I have to, which this last week, again, we've had to because we did not have supplies. We did not prepare adequately. We didn't know that it was going to happen all of a sudden. Where we live, they just all of a sudden were like, we're shutting everything down. So, and there's been mass panic buying all over the country. I went out every day last week to grocery stores trying to find the things we would need. And this past weekend, we can't ask any of our friends for help with moving. Our move-in date officially is April 1st, and we had planned on next weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, having our friends come over and all of us just, renting a U-Haul and packing it up. But now with this, we can't ask for help because some of his friends are immune compromised or have underlying health conditions. Other of his friends have children. It would be irresponsible for us to ask them for help. So now him and I alone have to try to move as much as we can, and we also don't want to spend extra money on renting a U-Haul in the event that something were to happen to us financially. We need every penny we can get. So we've been going back and forth a little at a time over the last week, and then a lot this weekend. We drove back and forth to our new apartment, just putting things in our car and making the trip. Thank goodness it's only 4 minutes down the street, so it's not that bad. But going out multiple times a day and just being in the world and touching, I know this sounds stupid, but we have 2 community doors in our apartment complex to touch to get out and in. So just touching those doors over and over and over and over again multiple times a day was just kind of like, just spraying our hands with alcohol. It is just, we live in an elderly complex, so we are putting everyone in this building at risk if we go out in the world and contract something and come back and touch the fucking door. So I found myself watching a lot of other YouTubers that are well established, and YouTube is their job, doing things about the quarantine videos and, doing these quarantine shopping hauls or just day in a life of being in quarantine. And I feel like it's nice to see content of someone just kind of enjoying themselves, even with the fear, but just kind of, making the best out of the situation. But at the same time, it feels very disconnected from my experience because I and a lot of people right now don't have the luxury of taking time off to self-quarantine without serious financial consequences. And it would feel very disingenuous of me to come on here and just pretend like everything is okay, and also to not share my experience, because I think that I get a lot personally from seeing other people validating my experience as okay to be going through. So I guess I just wanted to come on here and let you know that if you are having a hard time, whether it be financially or emotionally, because of the guilt you may feel for having to keep going and feeling like you're selfish for not self-quarantining because doing so would mean losing everything, and also the fear of knowing that through that decision of not quarantining, you could potentially become sick and then consequently end up losing everything anyways because you can't work because you are forced to quarantine at that point. I feel you. you're not alone. And I'm sorry that this video isn't my usual, happy personality. I am always one of the most positive people in the room, but I'm also someone who tries to be realistic about situations too. I try not to live too much in a fairy tale, even though oftentimes I am kind of in my own little world in the clouds. I feel like situations like this are a good time for us to not only work together, but also just support each other, even if it is across miles, even if it is through the internet, and even if they are strangers, just feeling like you're not going through it alone. And I know a lot of people are saying that we're all in this together, you're not alone. But a lot of the people I see saying that are not coming from anywhere near where the average person is. So from one working, broke, fearful, regular old human to another, you are not alone in this. We are going to get through it. And if you need someone to talk to, I am here. I hope you guys all stay safe and try to stay as happy as possible. And I hope wherever you are, you make the best attempt you can to have a wonderful day. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.